Hi everyone, in this video series I'm going to be covering my Genshin characters, my builds, and how I use them in team comps. For every character I own, this goes for 4 stars and 5 stars. Currently I own all the 4 stars that are available in Genshin, and so I feel this is a great time to go over how I've built them. If this series helps you, please leave a like, and I'm sure if you want to find any other characters that may pique your interest, please take a look on my channel, and thank you very much for watching. So starting off with this series, I wanted to talk about Amber. She's the first character you end up getting when you play Genshin. Probably one of the most ignored. I would have loved some constellations for my Amber very early on because I used her quite a lot. When I first got the game, about over a year ago, Yanfei was my main character and who I initially used, and Amber was a fantastic support for Yanfei. I'll cover the team comps towards the end of the video. And I'll finish off the video with a demonstration of said team comp, and I'll also suggest some team comps that I use that I don't use anymore. I don't really use Amber anymore as it goes, unfortunately. Same with most accounts after they've been played on for quite some time. Amber ends up a bit on the bench in the background, not really a great sort of Abyss user or Abyss character, but overall it was a lot of fun. So how I ended up building her is initially I would use something like, say, the Favonius is a great part for her kit of just keeping her burst constantly up, and it's probably one of the best weapons I'd suggest. Her main weapon, if you wanted to DPS with Amber, is the Amos bow. That's what I'm going to switch to for this video, because it's probably her best overall weapon. For charge shots, it's one of the best bows you can get. Unironically, I have the Rust equipped on her because I don't really have anyone else to give it to, and it actually decreases the damage of charge shots. So you could argue that's not what you want. It's more of a normal attack, so it'll be like a physical Amber. It actually is very real, but I wouldn't really suggest it's not what I've built here. So we're going to use the Amos. I would recommend to say the Favonius is the one I would recommend. Moving on to artifact sets, I believe I have put like this Crimson Witcher Flames. I've had a set of that on her. Works very well. What else have I used? I believe a Noblesse. I've used that as well. Noblesse Oblige, when you bring in the elemental burst damage, and using elemental burst increases all party members' attack by 20%. Another great artifact set to use for her. What I've personally used is an old Wanderer's Troop set that was initially on Yanfei. And this is kind of sitting in wait for Klee. If and when I do get Klee, I will probably move this entire set onto Klee. This is probably my best set in Genshin, and it's ironically on a character I don't really use, but it's because I've built a different set from my Yanfei now. And so as you can see, this is a pretty cracked set. These are pieces that I've built. I had probably from very early on. Like this piece we're looking at here might be over a year old by now. This entire set is actually probably over a year old. It's one of my very first sets I got when playing the game. Got an insane, probably my best crit damage roll here on my feather. We've got crit rate and another nice crit damage roll here on an attack piece. Pyro damage, we haven't got a piece. I'm quickly going to swap it. We've got like Yoimir or Zhangling. Zhangling's got a crack 26% crit damage. We'll take that for now. And then we've got a crit damage piece as well, some crit rate, which again, some nice rolls on that elemental mastery. Again, this is a really nice set. And overall, that brings us to 2,000 damage, 200 EM. Don't know where that's coming from. 24% crit rate is pretty terrible, but 200% crit damage. That's probably more crit damage than my Yoimiya. So this should be quite entertaining. But that's what I would suggest. This set works really well if you want to do this, even with her burst, because I still occasionally, if you wanted to take out shields, obviously not pyro shields, but any shield that isn't a pyro shield, Amber is fantastic for using charge shots against taking those shields down pretty quickly. The mages, for example, if you've got a Cyro mage, you're having some trouble with him, Amber will take out the shield a lot quicker than someone like Yanfei will. It's just how her kit works. I don't know what it is, obviously to do with some percentage numbers. We've got level 6 on the talents, and the team I'm going to use her in is actually a team I really look forward to when Kuki came out, and I didn't get Kuki, and it's part of the reason I quit the game. It's about 6 months ago for a few months, because I did about I did about sort of 70, 80 pulls, or probably more, saved up for try and get Kuki, and I think I got Goro like C4 or something, and I was and like 4 Favonius Warbows. I didn't get one copy of her. I was very upset, and it was because I wanted this team initially. This is the team I wanted her for. And I'll demonstrate why Amber's good in this team and for what reasons. But so, some suggestions for what I used and what carried my game. Anyone that's seen my previous content will know this is one of my most popular teams. It's a team that's very fun. And this is a team that pretty much dominated my entire game. It's characters I very first pulled, so that's why I used them. But it isn't really a suggested team online. You won't really find it many places. But Beidou can ultimately power up Yanfei really well. Sayu does some really great healing, and Amber basically adds a fantastic distraction while also giving you that 25% damage bonus, or pardon me, yeah, 25% damage bonus from the pyro resonance that you get with the team comp here. But we're not going to use that. My Beidou's not built, and my Sayu has other interests now. And as I say, Kuki fills the role for this team perfectly, and we're going to use Yunjin. She boosts normal attacks, so in turn I assume that would actually also help Amber if you wanted a normal attack herb, as here and there. Kuki obviously does some enabling, and will be enabling overload in this situation. And we've got Yanfei being the main driver. Yanfei is very selfish in terms of screen time. She is the main DPS. You could argue it's more of a video about her. I'm not going to change in any of these showcases how I play, because I think that's very difficult to do. I'm just going to show you. So Amber's almost going to be a quick swap. I might do a charge attack or two just to show off a little bit, see some of those damage numbers. Again, this isn't overbuilt. She's level 70. You know, I'm more intrigued to see what's going to happen as probably you are if you're watching this, so I do appreciate it. I'm going to try and cover every character on my account in this series, and some of the upcoming characters as well, so I think it will be good for my channel, and I also quite look forward to doing it, and I hope it helps some people out. Now we're going to get Baron Bunny out there, hopefully add some distraction. We've got our ult already. Did Yunjin a bit too early. They're going to ult to protect us from that. These guys are somewhat of an issue. Not actually using Yanfei in a little while, so we might be a little bit rusty here, but equally she's kind of gotten to C6 since I last really used her. There we go. So he went straight for Baron Bunny there. Predominantly that is, and he also did it again, so that's predominantly why Amber was such a good unit, particularly early on in the game where health might not be the most thing you have. Again, he went for Baron Bunny again. That is why Amber is in this team. Yanfei, kind of similar to Yoimiya and even Wanderer and other Catalyst users, they're very vulnerable. They're very open. It relies on a lot of screen time to do your 1-2-3 charge. And to get that off successfully, you can get stun locked quite easily with these characters. And Amber is one of the few characters that basically offers a distraction. Mona's got another one with her Omen. Mona can do a similar thing, but I would argue Amber's probably got the best distraction in the game. And so as long as you keep putting the bunny out there, obviously the enemies are going to focus on that. It gives Yanfei breathing time to just basically able to set her up, put her in the places you want her. And to ultimately win pretty much any fight. And that's why I think Amber is quite good, particularly this team comp, and possibly only really this team comp. There's obviously others you can use. So like here, they're grouped. We're going to use Amber's ult. We're going to throw the bunny out there. He's immediately taking the attacks. What did he go for me there? I can't really tell anymore. But I've said before, I would really enjoy some Amber constellations for how much I've used her on my account, and for how I've utilised her kit. Let's get rid of this guy. Alright, let's try and charge Sean. Oh, 10k, that's not too bad. I was expecting a bit more. The crit rate's obviously quite low. We could do probably a bit more crit rate. I think we'll probably get some better consistent big numbers, but who knows. Talents being leveled will probably help a lot more as well.
Let's get down to business.
10k per charge shot. So that's very good. You can see why people can DPS with her. I think a very similar style to Ganyu. Not to be rude, but that's, I believe Ganyu's kit is focusing on charge attacks, and that's very similar to Amber. I've not got Ganyu, but I have used a bit of her kit when she's been on trial. And obviously your placement on the bunny does help a lot. If you stand in front of it, it's not really going to do its job like I was there, but you can get consistent 10k hits on this. Nice.
Have a little taste.
Yeah, nice. Very nice. Not quite Yoimiya, obviously, but everybody has Amber. As I say, not many people have her built. She was actually one of the first characters I took to like level 70 out of 80. And I had her displayed on my account for that reason for quite some time. Let's make sure Kuki doesn't die on me here. I can get a bit, because Kuki constantly ticks her health as it heals. So you got to bring Kuki into rotation between fights and just make sure we're not gonna... Just make sure we're not going to get one-tapped by an enemy when I bring him into rotation. But if this helps you, please leave a like, as I say. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to just carry on here. We're going to finish off with some enemies, and there's a mob around the corner. It should be a bit of a fireworks party, and I'm going to use this run. I've used this run quite a few times on my videos. I'm going to use this run for pretty much every character I demonstrate, as I believe it's a very good demo run for what I want to do. It enables me to speak a little bit in between the fights, and it offers a good variety of mobs, and we can just try out and do my demonstrations. Oh, so there you go. That's what I'm saying about Yanfei getting a bit bullied there. But so these guys are grouped up. We can literally... Obviously, if you didn't have Kuki but you had Dory, Dory is essentially very similar. Oh, actually, no, beg my pardon. No, who am I thinking of? No. Dory does some healing. Can she do off-field electro? Actually, I might be mistaken. We'll ignore what I just said. Oh, good lord. Okay, yeah, don't do that. I guess she can. Something I quite liked with is if you've got Collie as well, you can drop Collie's ult, Amber's ult, and obviously Kuki's ult, and they're all basically the same diameter of circle, so you can really sort of create this cluster of death, I suppose, because all the reactions going off there. So I'm going to demonstrate this guy's shield. It's we've ticked a little bit off there, probably more than I should have, but there you go. One charge shot's pretty much taken it out. There you go, he should have really gone down on that bit. Like 3 charge shots, his shield is gone. Very easy. We would have been ticking away a bit there with Amber for a while, with Yanfei, so just being able to do that. And obviously her ult as well will take out shields very easily. And you could argue the only weakness of this team is probably a Pyro Mage, which there's one down here. The Overload and Yunjin might be enough. There's a Pyro Mage right there, so, and there's one over here actually. I think there isn't. These two are completely separate. So let's demonstrate on these two. Actually, these are fantastic. Quite what to do. Well, that didn't do too much actually. Vaporize. Really getting the Electro one. Take out quite a bit of this, but the Hydro, we don't take that much out. Great, thanks for that, bro. Yeah, we don't take as much out as I figured on the Hydro one. Maybe it's Syro and just Electro she really takes out. But Yanfei will clean this up both times. I mean, obviously both of them are pretty good. that, get Young Jin out, push her ult, and just wipe these two up before they get a shield back. Nothing more annoying than seeing these dance in the distance and then get their shield back. Become a pain in the ass all over again. Oh, let's try and heal some people up here because it's confusing. So we've got the Overload. Pyro shields were the bane of this sort of team. We've got Kuki's ult. Let's use Young Jin some more. There we go, cracked his shield. So as long as you crack the Pyro Maiden's shield with your alternate units, you just have to pick on him when he's down. There you go. He's no bother. And ultimately, that's going to be your main counter, is going to be the sort of Pyro enemies. Pyro Mage, the Pyro Fatui might be a right pain. I distinctly remember having a lot of issues when a Pyro Fatui turns up and I was using Yan Fei. Very annoying. Have to swap type teams or something just because one enemy is countering everything. Unfortunately, it's the nature of the game, though, I guess. We got an ult with Amber again here. Do with the bunny, I'm not too sure what's happening. There we go, got our ult again to do that. We need Kuki again. And we'll cluster there, let's get the bunny over there. Should we try and clean up here with Amber? Since it is her video. Even though, as I've said, and I've said at the beginning, Yan Fei has been the main driver of this, and you have to have someone like that. You could use Amber, I suppose, and say a Ning Wang team. I believe a double Pyro, double Geo team is one of Ning Wang's best teams, so Amber could work in that for a similar case of being a distraction and enabling Ning to have some more screen time. Not that I would suggest that, but it could be, it could work. It could be an option. But if this helped you, please leave a like, as I say, and thank you very much for watching. If you want to look at any more characters in this series, they should be on my channel, so please take a look, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.